Live from the Scheinfeld Center's Innovator Studio at Santa Barbara City College, it's the Enlightened Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Hannah Scantor, Program Intern at the Scheinfeld Center. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us today to build livelihoods that matter, be your own boss, and make the world an even better place. Did you know that passion projects can be used during the transfer process to help your application stand out? Joining us to break it down from the SBCC University Transfer Center is Transfer Counselor Marisol Cota. Marisol, welcome to the podcast and thank you so much for taking your time.
Yes, thank you for having me. And I'm glad all of you guys are watching us because I'm going to be sharing a lot of good information with you.
Yeah, it's great having you here. And this time it's going to go super quickly, so let's jump right into it. First, I just wanted to ensure that we're all on the same page. I'll share that passion projects have several defining characteristics. It's a self-led project that aligns with your interests, values, and strengths. It solves a problem or addresses a compelling need that's bigger than yourself to create a positive impact and achieve a targeted outcome. It also demonstrates originality and it has a specified beginning and end, and it requires a completion of a series of tasks. So Marisol, a few weeks ago, we had student entrepreneur Max Tang join the podcast, and we talked about ways of leveraging passion projects to stand out in the transfer process. And during this podcast, he emphasized how important it is to convey passion and skills in the transfer application. So what are your thoughts on this? Is the combination of passion and skills important in the transfer process?
I definitely think that prospective transfer students should definitely convey their passions inside and outside of the college when they're applying to the four-year universities to transfer. Many of these can include, your accomplishments as a student, the talents that you have, your personal interests, experience in and outside the classroom setting, maybe some extracurricular activities that you're involved in, not just maybe on campus, but in your community. And I usually tell students to think about all the things that you're bringing with you to this university that are not on a college transcript. So many universities are looking for well-rounded students. And hopefully, many of these interests will lead you into a career or a major or both possibly that you enjoy doing in the future.
That's great. And we have seen how students from all over the world have used their passion projects to get recognized by top-ranked universities. And in what ways would you say that passion projects can help students stand out in the transfer process?
I think by sharing their individual unique stories, documenting their path and the research they found through their individual journeys, and expressing that is really powerful in words. Some of us learn by doing and exploring our interests. Some of us excel in research and experimentation and invention to improve, humanity, society, embrace new ideas and perspectives. And we want to make all difference, in our different moments and be passionate about that. So I think, that's really important when students are looking at those areas in the transfer process.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And we have seen that many universities ask transfer students to write about an experience that shows creativity and leadership skills as a part of their application. And one of the universities that does these are the University of California's Personal Insight questions, where one of the questions students could choose from this year was describe an example of your leadership experience in which you have positively influenced others, helped resolve disputes, or contributed to group efforts over time. How can students use their passion projects strategically to answer these questions?
That's a great question. And yes, the UC does have the personal insight questions where students do have to respond to 4 of the 7 prompts. And UCLA, UC Berkeley, and UC San Diego are the ones that weigh heavily their comprehensive review and holistic admission process with reading the additional insight questions to get their admission class. Even many private schools and out-of-state universities maybe have an essay component to that because they want to see what are you bringing to that campus? What makes you unique besides your good grades and going to school? What have you done in your life, from high school on through college, and what do you continue to do? Share your background, your culture, values, goals that you may have in the short and long term, because students not only pursue a bachelor's degree, but maybe have dreams of going to grad school or in professional schools in the future. Volunteering and showing that you care about people in your community, to give back, and teamwork with others. It's really rare that in classrooms and in jobs that you're working alone. Usually you have to collaborate with others to get projects done. So you can definitely demonstrate leadership by being a leader of a club, a campus president for one of our clubs, take an initiative in your class to advocate for other students in your group, and definitely sharing all those life skills, I think always benefits a student in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned that these transfer essays, they allow students to kind of personalize their application beyond grades and scores. And what would you say, what's your best tips for students who want to use their passion project and write about that in their essay?
Yeah. So, for instance, I feel like students should focus on describing their passion and the positive impact maybe it had on their life or on others. And this can create new opportunities or possibilities through a certain passion project that they went through. It can also help students grow emotionally, mentally. It can help shape their, outlook on things, how they view in the future. And it helps them embark in their new chapters in their adult life. So, it's good to be intelligent through the university and being educated, but it's also you need to learn how to be successful in the real world as well. So definitely those two complement each other, definitely.
Okay, so you would say they should focus more on how the project helped them grow as a person and like what skills they learned more than explaining what type of project it is.
Right. And even going into uncharted territory, that can spike new interests to students. And sometimes getting out of your comfort zone could create new opportunities that you didn't know were possible.
Yeah, and following on a bit about that, do you think it's important that students' passion projects are related to their majors if they're going to use it in the transfer application?
I feel it can be really rewarding to do something that you love and enjoy and kind of get that hands-on experience, get that information that you're like, this is definitely for me because I've talked to people in the field. My instructors are sharing stuff that I really enjoy learning about. They're, creating new ideas. It can inspire you again, not just academically, but socially and emotionally. And I think all of us do want to go into a field that we love. And I always tell students to do what they're passionate about, to do what they somewhat enjoy. So, and then the money's going to follow. You want to be at a career and be willing to take chances, explore new adventures, maybe develop new interests. and find your undiscovered talents that maybe you wouldn't have explored without kind of diving into those different areas of study.
That's a great answer. Thank you so much. And then I'm also wondering, besides passion projects, what's one thing that students can do to set their transfer application apart from the sea of applicants that colleges receive these days?
Well, one of them is many of you have a goal of transfer, and we do have a SBCC University Transfer Scholars Club. It's open to any student that does have a goal of transferring. We help you with the whole TAG process, which is a transfer admission guarantee to not just the UC system, but the CSUs, as well as private and out-of-state schools. We take field trips to different universities to kind of explore, see the different cities they're in. You know, sometimes students are applying to schools they've never even been to. And so definitely looking at those areas, also getting involved maybe in internships. We have a great career center with career counselors that have internships that are listed in different areas of study that you can explore to see if this is your calling or your niche that you feel like you can go into, because sometimes students have multiple interests. And also, you know, kind of sharing the obstacles and barriers that you've overcome as a student is, you know, really important, because they help build your character, and it's going to help you learn skills to overcome bigger obstacles in the future and be successful in things that cross your path.
Could you just, in a nutshell, tell us what's the overall process that students experience when they work together with the University Transfer Center to support their transfer process?
So we always encourage students to, it's never too early to start. We recommend your first semester. You guys fill out an application to come to City College, and many of you indicate a goal of transfer. So, you know, that first semester, we want you to start exploring. Many students, sometimes don't know we have over 85 tag programs, different admission agreements with different universities. So we want to make sure that if you know kind of what your path is going to be, we can start strategically planning your courses you're taking every semester. We can look at, you know, all the opportunities, maybe the different financial aid options that are available to you. Is there housing available? You know, kind of answer the additional questions that go into the decision of what makes that university fit me, because it's not a one size fits all for every student. And so we try to show students as many options based on their interests, their requirements, their GPA that they're currently doing. And we're guiding you all along the whole process. So it's not like we just see you in the beginning and you never see us again. It's a constant collaboration and a relationship that we want to build with you as a student so that you're successful in reaching your academic and personal goals.
Yeah, that's great. That's really amazing. What other services does the University Transfer Center at SBCC offer to help students prepare for the transfer process?
Yeah, so we offer counselor of the day, Monday through Friday. We offer in-person services online. We do Zoom and over the phone. So we want to be accessible to all students who have a goal of transferring. We've also created video tutorials to complete the UC CSU application. We also help students with the private school common application, and many students that are inquiring to get letters of recommendation when they've been working with their academic counselors. Sometimes that's the person that's writing those letters of recommendation for admission to the schools. We also provide, you know, campus trips to the universities, again, free of charge. We raise money to do that for our students. And again, having exposure to the different opportunities and possibilities of places to go can definitely open your eyes to those other opportunities that you hadn't thought about just because you're, just thinking locally. And so I've definitely had students that are like, I would never go out of state. And as soon as we took them to Arizona State and University of Arizona, they're like, I am applying here. Like, this is great, and I'm still paying in-state tuition. How is this all working? I didn't even realize. So we want to create that open door. Like, we want to make sure that where you're going, where you're planning is, a good fit and that you're happy there.
Yeah, that's really great. I'm so happy that we have the Transfer Center at SBCC because you do so much for students, helping us prepare for the transfer process and just guiding us through it, because it is really hard. So we have received questions from students as well. And the first question we got is, what is the top thing the students can do to make the most out of working with their transfer counselor?
So definitely just meeting with us at least once a semester so we can update your student education plan. Your student education plan is known as an SEP, and that is basically your roadmap of all the courses that you're taking every semester, whether it's fall, spring, and even during our summer session, to reach your goal. So we're making sure you're on track. We're balancing your schedule out so you're not taking too many hard classes at once and then a bunch of easy ones together. So, we try to strategize so that, you're somewhat enjoying some of the other general education classes outside your major. And again, we're the experts in transfer. So when you're looking at multiple schools, we want to make sure that we're meeting the requirements for all those institutions. And as you said, it is a complicated process. And that's why, we're here for you guys. And that's why you just have to come in and make an appointment. You can drop in. Like I said, we have counselor of the day. We also have 45-minute appointments. And again, some of our University Transfer Center counselors, including myself, we've worked on the weekends to get those tag applications in and university questions submitted. So, we do go above and beyond to make sure that you get admitted to your dream university.
Yeah. So our counselors, do students have one assigned counselor, or is it okay to talk to any of you?
Yeah, so in our University Transfer Center, we have two different programs. We have the University Transfer Academy, which is open to all students who have a goal of transfer. And then we also have the TAP program, which is our Transfer Achievement Program. And it is geared towards first generation, low income, usually historically underrepresented Hispanic, African American, and other minority ethnicities to kind of help them navigate this whole process. Many of them are first generation to go to college. And so many of them, we want to provide that additional support. So we do have multiple support services on campus, but those are the two main programs that you can join at SBCC through the Transfer Center. And they're both free of charge. And so I always tell students, why not? You have another support system that you could take advantage of. You pass it all the time in the Student Services building. We're located on the first floor. So there shouldn't be any reason that you wouldn't be able to reach out to one of us, and because we're here to help you. That was our goal when we went into this job. It's a giving profession, and I can say that I enjoy working with all my students every day in different majors. And when you're in a specific program like the UTA, University Transfer Academy, or the TAP program or EOPS, they are assigned a primary counselor. The general student population starting this fall of 2022 is actually able to schedule an appointment through Starfish with any available counselor. We do have counselors that list their areas of expertise. And so students can meet the first available appointment, or they can go and schedule one that is specific to their major so that they can maybe get a little bit more information or in-depth detail regarding that appointment while they're using it. So our local students who graduate from Santa Barbara County local high schools have to meet with a counselor every fall and spring semester to meet their promise requirements as well. So I just wanted to kind of highlight that as well.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. So the second question we got from our audience is, when is the best time for students to first reach out to their transfer counselor?
So after, okay, go ahead.
No, you can.
Okay, I was like, in the beginning, all students meet with an academic counselor as incoming freshmen. And then after that, if they join the Transfer Academy, we'll be meeting with them at least once a semester. Summers are optional for all students. But some students are like, I only get one appointment. Well, sometimes you have more questions and we do welcome those. And so definitely you can make another follow-up appointment. Sometimes if it's a quick question, you can come into the counselor of the day via Zoom or in person, and we can answer those quick questions. A lot of those have been coming in for the pass no pass deadline, which is today on December 9th at 11:59 p.m. So any of you that are, struggling in a course or not thinking you're going to do well on the final, get those forms in. You can send it to a counselor electronically. But we want to make sure that you all are successful. So, sometimes it's not just one time when students are experiencing personal issues. COVID's been really hard to deal with. People have lost jobs. So we're here to support you as counselors, not just in academics, but in your personal life, because all of it together makes you the student that you are.
Thank you. So the last question I have from the audience is, what's the biggest mistake the student seeking transfer makes that ultimately gets in the way of the transfer process? And what's the best way to avoid this mistake?
So when students are trying to do counseling for each other, it's like telephone. The information changes from person to person to person as it's transmitted through classes, through friends, through different modalities. And so we're all here as experts in the University Transfer Center and as counselors to give you the correct information. So we're the one that are debunking a lot of the myths, the misinformation that students are coming in with. And it's not because people are trying to share bad information. It's just they're not maybe up to date on all the relevant information or correct pertaining to that student's individual situation or academic goals or multiple goals. So I definitely tell students, write them all down, and you can always ask me and I can confirm, deny. I like to show. I always tell students it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And sometimes when they're reading it for themselves, they're like, I can't believe they were telling me wrong. And I say, well, I'm glad you just came in and made an appointment so that stress is gone, and that's what we're here to support, you guys in your journey.
Yeah, because the transfer process really is so unique. Every single person has a unique experience and unique things that they have to share in the application, and working together with the transfer center really helped me during my transfer process, because you are really a great support to have here on campus. So thank you.
Yeah, and we encourage you guys, we have an email that we're responding to. It's transferacademy@sbcc.edu. Our phone number is on our website. It's 805-730-4347. We try to get back to you guys within 24 to 48 hours with your questions. You can also see us on our social media accounts. We do have a Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We do try to post a lot of information, especially important deadlines, workshops, events that are coming up, so that students can take advantage of those opportunities. Since many of you guys are following different social media, we do want to make sure that we are sharing the information to all students from different modalities. and to know that we're here to serve and help support you from start to finish at SBCC.
Well, Marisol, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your expertise. And for our
Yes.
audience, we hope this episode supports your entrepreneurial journey as you use your passion project to transfer to your dream university. This season, we're all about putting passion into action to craft meaningful livelihoods and using entrepreneurial skills to your benefit, whether you aim on being your own boss, transferring to a four-year university, or land a job that aligns with your passions and values. So thank you again, Marisol, and have a great weekend, everyone.